Writing, I've always said, is a difficult job, for there are a lot of things to which you attribute a book's success. And I've often observed that the same attributes of a book's success also contribute equally to its gleaning positive book reviews from the readers, writers, and critics alike. With this little introduction, I'd like to welcome you to another exciting video where you and I will discuss the 5 must-haves in a book review. Let's get started. Must-have number 1. Book details. Ensure that your review contains the book's summarized plot. Also ensure that the plot does not contain any spoiler alerts. Think about it this way. If you are out to watch a movie with your friends and one of them blurts out the ending or the twist in the plot, will you still enjoy watching the movie? Probably not. Some of us prefer reading through a book's plot or summary before picking it up for reading. In such cases, if the review reveals more than what it must, the readers may be less likely to pick that book up for reading. At least I wouldn't. Consider this summary from the book review of Pride and Prejudice. Look how, other than a really short summary, we have given details of the book, such as the title, author name, the 3 volumes, genre, and the year the book was first published. You could also include the edition and the publisher if you think knowing that is important for the reader. Even though the reader may not notice such details, they will definitely register those without knowing. Must-have number 2. What and why. Tell the readers what you loved and why. Every reader is different, and it isn't necessary that everyone will like what you liked, but they will most certainly be more receptive and careful when they read what you liked if you tell them why. Remember that stories inspire not only because they are interesting, but also because they are revealing. Stories help connect logic with emotions, both of which contribute to our understanding of a book and its characters. There's a flip side to this as well. There are books, plots, or episodes that you don't like, but don't reveal those to the readers if you don't have any logic behind your disliking it. This doesn't fare well for the book itself. If the entire book itself doesn't interest you, better skip writing a review. But if you must write, end the review on a positive note. Let me give you an example from the same book. The pivot of Pride and Prejudice has to be the revelation of Mr. Darcy, where he opens up about his feelings for Elizabeth, where he says, "In vain I have struggled, it will not do. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you." It isn't by any means the turning point, for there still remain a lot of unanswered questions and events that are yet to reach their intended conclusion. If that sentence alone was sufficient to arouse your curiosity, I would recommend you read the book. But before I recommend, let us look at the 3 remaining must-haves. Must-have number 3. Examples. We often hear that the real life inspires movies, which in turn inspire or encourage someone to behave accordingly in real life. This is true for books as well. Readers like to read about characters that are well sketched. Quote examples of characters and their dialogues from the book. This gives authenticity and flavor to your reviews. Mix and match your writing style with the author's style by directly quoting from the book's characters. The witty character of Mr. Bennet from Pride and Prejudice, the mental prowess of Sherlock Holmes, and the emotional postman Thanappa from the Malgudi days, amongst a host of other such characters, have had their lasting impressions etched in my memory. The examples you provide may also create a similar impact. You could also include examples of books with a similar plot, character, or episodes to convey your point. You could also include example of books with a similar plot, character, or episode to convey your point. This will lend a good support to not just your review but also to the book. Must-have number 4. Background. A lot of people I've observed recommend including some context to the review. For this, you could include information about the author, how the book fits into their overall contribution, or why is it a significant work. Here's an example. You could also include why the author chose to write on the theme in context of the time by talking briefly about the then socio-political situations. But ensure that your review tells the reader about the book more than it tells about the author. And now let's look at the last must-have. Must-have number 5. Final word. Give your final recommendation. In one-line takeaway for the reader, tell them if they should read the book. Preferably, include it toward the end of your review so that by the time the readers reach it, they know why you say what you say. And say it simply. If you recommend the book, say it the way you mean it. Rate the book on a scale of 5, 5 being the highest, and tell people why you liked or disliked whatever you did. If you recommend the book, you could also tell the readers from where they can get themselves a copy. If you could add an affiliate link to the publisher's or e-commerce website, it'll be a plus. For each of the 5 must-haves, we have considered what we may wish to include in our example of the book review, Pride and Prejudice. You may use the same template to write book reviews on your website or on websites like Goodreads. For those who wish to write reviews more professionally, you could structure your reviews by beginning with a suitable title and then following it up with the introduction, the summary, your evaluation of the book, and then end it with the final word for it. I hope that these points have helped you with what to include and how. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Your appreciation is invaluable and encourages me to share more content more frequently. If you've liked this video, please subscribe to my channel. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.